Everybody, I know this is really silly making a video. Um, it's Friday afternoon, but I just want to kind of make sense to everything that happened this week. There's a lot of things that happened. Almost every day was a little bit different. But I just want to kind of create some clarity as much as I can of what happened this week, and then also to moving forward. Okay. So I guess first off, I want to explain. We have two teams on our high school football team, and we split them up. We have a varsity team that's made up of about 30 players, and we have a JV or C team that's made up of about 30 players. And we don't practice together, and we keep these kids separated just for a COVID close contact situation. It does. It's not a great scenario for some of those kids on the JV or C team that would usually dress down for a varsity Friday night and play some special teams or play in a blowout game like Bainbridge. So we lose out on that, but we try to keep our teams separated to avoid close contact. I just want to kind of go through this week and just kind of recap every day and how we got to where we're at. On this first day of this week was a Monday in which we had a varsity positive. And so a member of our varsity team tested positive. So instantly we had a team meeting. And at that team meeting, we went two different directions. We went through a vaccinated path and an unvaccinated path. And our unvaccinated path was a 14-day quarantine. And our vaccinated path was testing our vaccinated players. And on Tuesday, we continued down that path and started to test vaccinated players. On Wednesday, we had a JV or a C team player test positive. And with that, we instantly had a team meeting. And while that team meeting was going on, literally, we were getting updated protocols from the local health department. So what we were doing up here was being changed. So there's a lot of confusion, a lot of emails, a lot of to parents and players, and a lot of a lot of things going on. But with those updated protocols on Thursday, we were able to sort through them and understand them and learn them, and also to start to implement these. And the biggest change, I guess, there's lots of changes, but I guess the biggest change would be from an unvaccinated path. So an unvaccinated was a 14-day quarantine on Monday, was changed to a 7-day quarantine, but within those 7 days, 2 negative tests, and just to get kids back into school. And so we started that process just today. And this morning, we offered our first COVID test here at school. And in order to take a COVID test at school, parents do have to fill out a consent form. We will be offering a second COVID test on Monday, September 22nd here at school. That will happen either at 9 or 9:30. And if you're not notified through email, let me know by Sunday nightish, and I'll try to find the answer for you as far as what time that's going to happen on Monday. On Monday, we have a 2-hour late start. So school will start at 10:17, not 8:17. So that second COVID test at school will either be around 9, if not 9:30, somewhere in there. Also on Monday, September 22nd, we're going to offer a football practice again to the varsity player that's eligible to be here. And so it'll most likely be a socially distant practice where we're just kind of getting our cleats back on and we're getting our feet underneath us. So what exactly that looks like, still to be determined. And just want to let you know, as far as this next week, this coming week that's going to happen, and really for the rest of the season, whatever decisions we make as a football program, we're going to take these 3 things into consideration, and we're going to rank them in this order. And the first thing we're going to take into consideration, obviously, is our player health and our family's health. We don't want to be spreading this amongst our team and amongst the families of our team. So whenever we make a decision, that's going to be the number one decision we make, or the number one impact on whatever decision we go with. The second thing is school. We want our kids in school learning. Academics are more important than football. And so we would much rather have a kid in English and biology class compared to just worrying about extracurricular sports. But also, too, we are going to be making decisions based on football. But these two things will always trump football. Excuse me. Now, we do have a very, very good football team in which we can still get a lot better. As you guys maybe have seen it in the past, we played okay against Port Angeles, and we played better against Bainbridge, but we still can get a lot better. We have a chance to have a really, really good football team around here. We think we got some great kids on that football team. We have a great senior class, and they've worked very, very hard for this fall, and we want to provide them the best memories and league wins in October and home great games in October and even in November that we can. But I also ask everybody that we stick together through this process. This process is not fun. This process is definitely, people have their opinions about it, and we all have our opinions about it. But just know that this week kind of, there was different things that were happening almost every day. And the things that were happening every day were different protocols were being in place and were in place. And so they just changed very, very quickly. And we're doing everything we can to get kids healthy, to make sure families are healthy, to make sure they're back in the school and back in class when it's appropriate to do so. And we'll play football when it's appropriate to do so. But again, we just got some great kids. And I ask also, to us as adults, that we do everything we can to try and stick together. I'm not a social media guy, but I do know that a lot of people talk amongst themselves in social media and are upset about a lot of different things. I've been here since 2006. I grew up here. My dad grew up here, and my uncles have been here and on school boards, and my grandpa started the business here, and he was on the school board. And my great grandpa was around, and he was the coach of the first Blaine basketball team around here. And so my roots here are very, very deep. And I just know that every time there's been something amongst our community that hasn't gone great, our community comes together like none other. And that's what I really like about our town and our community, is that when things like this happen, this is when we thrive. And I'm not trying to give anybody a pep talk or anything like that. I've experienced it my whole life as a kid, and I've experienced it as an adult. And I think we still can, come together and do everything we can to give our kids, this really good team, by the way, and these great group of seniors and everybody else in between, the best season we possibly can. And there's going to be some things that we got to get through, but we're going to get through it, and because we have no choice, but we're going to get through it and be better on the other side. So apologize for the length, apologize for the spiel there at the end, but I really believe in everything that we're doing.